Hey guys, good evening all. Today I'm here with Maurizio. Thanks Maurizio to join my interview. And the topic of this short video would be the self-empowerment. But first of all, Maurizio, why don't you tell us about yourself and what are you doing here in Brussels?
Sure, thank you Fausto to invite me for this video. My name is Maurizio Geri, I come from Florence, Italy, Firenze. And I'm here since a couple of months. I moved here to work for NATO HQ, and at the same time I'm also working as a consultant for international security on issues regarding in particular African continent. And I'm here also to learn about this new European bubble. I'm very happy to be in Brussels, and I'm happy also to be here today to share with you some of my little knowledge on life skills. I'm
sure that guys that are following me, they will appreciate the great content that we are giving today. But let's just go back to the topic, which I told it was self-empowerment. What are the advices that you want to share today about the self-empowerment?
Sure. So, empowerment is an English term that means to be more powerful in our life. Today there are many videos and books on self-help, but my concept of self-empowerment starts from the fact that our life and our being as human beings is a very complex organism and very complex event, the life that we are living. So we are made of four parts. We are made of body, mind, heart and spirit. And if we miss one of these parts, if we don't empower one of these parts, the rest of the organism, the rest of our life is not fulfilled. Obviously the body means that you need to have a fitness, a ability to move in a healthy way, to nurture your body with good food, and also share your body with the world, so moving outside in activities that imply the movement of your organism. The second one is the mind. The mind means that you need to be developing the intellectual abilities, meaning readings, but not only that, meaning to have a character, to learn, for example, from the ancient virtues. We spoke sometimes about the Roman virtues, we read about the Greek Stoicism. We need to develop our character, our self-discipline, our way of living a life that is more based on intellectual empowerment. Okay. Then there is obviously the heart, meaning the loving, social part of our life. Our life, and this is the relationship that we have with the others, with friends, etc., etc. And then there is also the spiritual life, the relationship that you have with the nature, the relationship that you have with the spirit, with your inner focus, your inner strength. And this is also a part that you have to develop and empower.
Yeah. I'm sure that... but one question that I wanted to ask, because as you saw, I talk a lot about university, I talk a lot about work, and I would like to ask you a question. How can, for you, a young, let's say, student or a young graduate, create his or her first work experience in this strange environment when sometimes, as you know, in Italy or even abroad, it's difficult to find a good job?
Yes.
When you're young and inexperienced, no? So, what can you tell us about this? Well,
as I told you in other occasions, Fausto, the important thing for me is that I am one of the brain drain, you know, one person that studied and worked abroad. But I started also in Italy. I started in the informal work market, meaning that when I didn't find a job, a position, I started to do volunteer work, for example, or proposing myself as a worker without payment, but for learning how do you say that in English? Like a mestiere, skills.
To just get your first job skill.
Job skills, yes, competencies. Exactly. This is one thing. The other thing, obviously, is to have experiences abroad.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you need to learn languages. Yes, you need to learn languages. You need to experience abroad. I did some years of volunteer work in foreign countries, in peace.
Like where?
For example, I was in Mexico, in Guatemala, in Nepal and in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And I work for Peace Brigades International. This is one of the organizations with who you can work. There is another one called Non-Violent Peace Force. All these organizations are for peace and international affairs. But there are others too. There are for environmental, for children, for education. Organizations that allow you to have an experience for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, in which obviously you cannot make a lot of money. You just are covered in your expenses, in the house, in the trip, but then you work in an environment that allow you to learn about yourself, about another culture, learning to empathize and expand your identity with other realities,
and even
and then learn working skills too.
And even to build your first network, let's say, to
Yes.
meet people
Yes,
that can
that's very
allow
important.
that can allow you in the future to find a real job, maybe.
Yes,
a good
yes,
one.
very important, the network part.
Yeah, exactly. And another important topic is languages, because as you know, it's very important to know at least a couple of languages.
Yes.
And in your can you give us an advice about how to learn fast language?
Yes.
Or at least not fast, but in a very efficient way.
Yes.
A new language.
Yes, I think first of all that the language that you have to learn is the English.
Yes.
Because many times we say learn another language, but without English, that's the first one. And we know that in Italy is not so much well known. That's why also we have difficulties in our life.
Exactly, exactly.
So in order to learn it well, for me, my technique was to be self-immersed as much as possible in that language.
Okay.
Through songs, videos, music, speaking with foreign people to do conversation. And then when you are immersed 1, 2, 3 hours per day, because it requires a little bit of effort, and for example when you see the videos of a foreign, in English movie, you have to check the subtitles, so you can read while you are listening. Or if you have a song that you are listening, a rock song, you read the lyrics, so that's very important. So this is one of the suggestions I have for sure. In full immersion, and obviously to go abroad, if you have the money and the time to study a language in that country, it will be much better. But otherwise this is also good.
Also for me it has been very important to watch a movie in English with subtitles, and now that I also speak French quite good now, but I am full involved in the French. I try to study grammar, I try to watch video on YouTube in French. I download a good app called Duolingo to do exercise on my phone, like when I am on the bus or like when I have free time. So yeah, I agree 100% with your
advice. The apps actually are wonderful. In the past there were no apps, and today there are many, and we have to take advantage of this.
Exactly, and if I can suggest you guys, and also to you Maurizio, if you know a good app to learn a language, is called, I'm using for French, this app, and it's called News in Slow French. But you can find this app for any language, like English, Spanish, German, so you can you can search with your mobile phone the application, the name is News in Slow, and then the language that you want to learn, and simply it's very helpful because you can hear news in the local language. They speak very slow, and I think this is Duolingo and News is Slow French. Let's say News is Slow English for you if you want to learn English. It's two of the most rated app that I'm suggesting you now today.
Nice.
So Maurizio, just let me say thank you for this interview, and I'm sure that everyone is going to appreciate the value that you are giving to my channel. And I also thank you guys for watching my video. I suggest you to subscribe and to follow my other interviews in English. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Bye.